Around St. Patrick's Day, along with Halloween, I start thinking about those that love us when we're the hardest to love, like teachers, parents, grandparents, etc. St. Patrick was taken away from his family and friends when he was young. When he grew up, though, those are the people he came back to minister to. He had a tough life as a young man, but at least a reasonable name came out of it, Patrick. Maewyn Succat was the name he was born with. Yikes. He was born in Britain about 386 AD. He was born to a wealthy family. His father was a merchant and a pretty big businessman. They lived on the western coast of Britain, likely near Wales. When Patrick was 16, he was taken by marauders, pirates, and made to be a shepherd of sheep until he was 22. Then he escaped and walked 200 miles across peat bogs and forests before arriving at a port, possibly Wexford, with a grumpy old cargo ship captain. People that took Patrick were not nice to him. They worked him really hard. It's kind of amazing that God put these people on Patrick's heart to come back to and minister to later. Being a shepherd's really hard work. They had to stay outside with the sheep in the weather and protect them from wolves and other wild animals. I can imagine coming from a wealthy family and not being used to such labor. Those first few months were especially hard. But as hard as those 6 years were, this is one of those things that God turns and uses for good. Before Patrick had felt like the church was this kind of cold, formal place. He had doubts that God even existed. His dad was deacon of their local church, and his grandfather, pastor and teacher. But through this hardship, Patrick developed a living, vibrant relationship with God, and it was out of this that the call for ministry came out of. He made passage on the ship back in Wexford, and eventually made it back to his family. He went to the church and became a full-blown pastor. After about 432 AD, he became pastor to the Irish and started using the three-leaf clover to explain the Trinity. Just as there are 3 leaves on one shamrock, so there are 3 distinct persons in one God. I've been studying scripture for a while, and I wouldn't say I completely understand the Trinity. God is big, and I don't think one completely know or understand everything about him, especially in one lifetime. There will always be some things that are mystery. But we can know some things about God as he revealed some things about himself, such as he's one God in 3 persons, the Father, the Son, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit. He became pretty popular and a lot of people loved him. He died about 461 AD. March 17th isn't the day he was born, it was the day he died. People may not notice you when you walk into a room, but you do a lot of good, make a big mark. People notice you when you leave.